Now we have discussed different data types available like integer, float, complex values, strings. Now we have this data type where we'll be having multiple values assigned, just like array. So we have list, tuple, set, dictionaries. How it is working and how we have to define it. What are the operations we can perform on list, tuple, and set or dictionaries? We'll discuss it. Okay, list is basically is a collections where the whatever the values you are passing it is in order form. It can be changed, like it can be modified. You can add any value, you can remove any value, you can remove the entire you can delete the entire list. So that is possible in the list. You and even you can pass one value the multiple times. So it is allowing the duplicate values. And then we have the tuple. So the we have certain features available like a list is also a collection of items, then tuple is also a collection, and it is also allowing duplicate values. Then why we need tuple? So tuple is used when we know like in our sequence we are going to just use the 10 elements and we are not going to modify in future also. So we can use the tuple there where we know our requirement in early phase, like these many numbers of values it going to have, and the requirement is not going to change in future. So there we can use tuple. But if our requirement is not clear and it can be changed in future, like now we have the 9 values in list, it can be 10, it can be 20, it can be 100 also. So we have to use the list. Then we have the set values. It can't be changed. It and there is no indexing we features we have in set. Like in we have the indexing in string also. The same can be used in list and tuple, but you can't index the set values, and it is not allowing the duplicate values also. Then we have dictionary. Dictionary is like it is also a list of items, but in this values will be stored in key value pair. So if you are having name, then you have to pass the name value. We have the age, then you have to pass the age value. So age is going to be a key, and the value age value is going to be will be treated as dictionary values, key value pair. Okay, so list. Now let's discuss in more details. List is uh, like I mentioned, you are going to assign multiple values to a single variable. And how we are going to create a list, we have to use the square bracket. It can have the items in ordered form, unordered form. It can be changed. It can allow duplicate values also. And how the indexing is done, it is the same way we have the indexing in string. Starting the first value will have the 0 index, then 1, 2. If we are doing from last, it will have the -1, -2, and -3. So just like if you want to define a list, how we can define it? Like I'm taking numeric values. So 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the simple way for defining. And same way, now I have just given the integer values. I can have the float value also in this, like 4.8. This also is like list can have the multiple data type values. I can have a string value as well. It is not mandatory that our list will have only single data type value. It can have the only numeric value, only string value, or it can have a combination of data type. Yes. Okay. When I was saying like list can have a duplicate value, so I can have this three value multiple times also. it will not give me any error. So list is allowing duplicate values also and values from different data types. Yes, it will not give me any error. Okay, when we were saying that length function is used to get the string length, the same way we can use the length function to get the length of this list. There is some issue with the online version. Just try executing it sometime. Okay, so like we were checking the length of the string, same way we can use the length function to check the length of the list. Now we discussed like we can have multiple data types in the string value. Like we can have only the string value, we can have only the numeric values, we can have the boolean type values also in list, and or it can be a combination also. Okay, now I have the list defined, but I don't want to print the entire list. I just want to know what is the first value, what is assigned on the index one value. So we can give the particular indexing, and this is going to give the like the particular value. Not it's not going to print the entire list. And the same way we can use the negative indexing also. Like from last, I want to know what is the value assigned in the minus two position, so we can do that also. We can define the index in the minus negative one. We'll do all the exercise in last. Just trace it. Okay. Sure. Okay. The way we were discussing, we can use the range of the index. Like we don't want to print the entire list values, or neither we want to get a particular value, but we want to check what is assigned on the second to fifth value, or what is assigned to first index to fourth index value. So we can give the range of the index like we were using in string. The same way we can use the range of the negative indexing, like from -1 to -4, what is assigned. So we can do that also. Okay. Now this is how we are going to access the values in a list. But we don't know what are the values out there in the list. It's not it's or someone can't remember like this value is there or not. So we can check we can take a if loop and then we can check this particular value is there in our list or not, and then we can check like this is just like doing a validation, this particular value is available or not, doing a search operations in your list. This can be also done with the if loop. Let me just fix this. Okay, let's just take 5 minutes break. Meanwhile, I'll fix this and then we can start it. I'll stop sharing for 5 minutes. Let's have a quick break. I'll fix this in meanwhile.
If you have
Okay. So we were on list and how we can check the length of the list. So this is how the length function can be used for checking the list. A length. And now it is giving 6. So and now how we can use the indexing to access a particular element. So the same way we were doing in string, just pass the value. Like we want to check the first value. So list indexing the same way it is going to start from 0. So what is there on first index? 2 value is there. And same way we can do use the negative indexing also. If we want to check what is there on -3 value, we can do it. Yes. What else can be done with the list? So this is like getting a particular specific index value. Now we want to check the ranges, like what is there from -3 to -1 value. We can do that like we were doing in string. It will give us the list value starting from -3 index to -1. And this is negative indexing, how we can use it, and same way we can use the positive indexing, where it is going to traverse or consider the list from 0th position, the starting. Okay, meanwhile, let's go to next. Okay, so we were discussing how we can check a particular, like, it's a kind of a search operation, how we are going to check the particular item or the value is existing in our list or not. So this can be done, we can use the if loop. Okay. Just load it again. Because there is some issue with the online editor version. I'll set up my environment later. So we can see two values there, so it is giving us the value exists. If that value is not there, like we have some, see, we are trying to check 7, it is there or not. Okay, now how we are going to add an item in a list, or how we are going to remove the item from the list. So there are few methods available for inserting an item. We can use the append method also if you want to insert. What append method is going to do, it will add the value in the last of the list. So just like this is our list, we have defined it, and we are using the append function. So if we use, and we can pass the value what we want to add, and if we would print, this orange value will be added at the last of the list. We have the insert method is also available. So with append, we can't specify the index value where we want to add this value. It is by default, it is going to add the value into the at the last of the string, last of the list. But insert, what insert function will do, we can specify the index value also where we want to. If we want to add it in one position, so we can specify the index value, and then we can specify the value what we want to add. If we will print this list, so this orange value will be inserted at one index. Same, if we want to remove the item from the list, we can use the remove function. What remove will do, we have to specify the value. We are not going to specify any index value. So we'll just pass the value what we want to remove, and it will be removed from that list. If you want to a specific index value should be removed, so we have the pop method is available where we can pass the index value. We are not going to pass the value, we will be just passing the value. Either could we are not sure like what value it has on index 1, but we are sure that we want to delete the index 1 value, so we will use the pop function, and we will specify the index 1, so index 1 value will be deleted now. If we are not specifying any index in the pop function, so by default it will delete the last item from the list. Just like if I'm not passing in the next example, if you see I'm not passing any index value, so it will remove the last value. So now our list will have only 2 items, and the cherry will be removed. We can use the delete method is also there, which will be helping us to removing a certain value. So if we want to delete the index 0 value, so we can use the delete method, and then we can specify the index. So it will help us to remove the first item, index 0 value. If we are not specifying any index with the delete, method, we are just specifying the list name, so it will delete the entire list. All the values will be deleted. Then we have the clear method is also there. We are not sure like what value should be deleted. We want to clear entirely, so we can use the clear function. Let me see if it is working now. So we have cleared the list. Nothing is there now. Okay. So how like I want to use the first function and I want to delete what is there on the second. So we deleted the index 2 value. I'm not passing any index. I'm just giving the push. But what it is going to delete? It is going to delete the last value. So last value is deleted now. So this is how the add, insert, remove, delete, all these functions can be used, and we can perform the update operations. We can update the list. Next, we have list comprehension. Comprehension is like you are performing something, but you don't want to use the multiple line of code. You want just give me a second. Okay. So, what is list comprehension? If you want to perform some operations, but instead of writing multiple line of code, you want to write everything in a single line. So that is called the comprehension. Like we have a list is there. This is the list we have defined, and now we want to append value in the list. So we have written the three line of code. But with the help of list comprehension is we are defining the new list here. Instead of defining in a new line, we are defining here as well. And what operation we want to perform or what value we want to have in new list. So we have written here. Like we want to update the X value in new list. Why what is the condition for X? If X is there in the list of fruit and this X has the A, this X value has A in it, A character in it, so it that particular value will be added in new list. This is how the list comprehension will work. Instead of writing multiple lines like the same operation we were doing here in 5 lines, but with list comprehension the same operation can be done with 2 lines of code. Okay. Now we have the sort. How you can sort the list. So by default, it is going to be in ascending order if you're not passing any rule or you are not explicitly calling it out. And if you want to, your list value should be in descending order, then you have to pass reverse is equal to true. So list values will be sorted in a descending order. Just like we have in that case. I'm just going to find sort function. I'll do this. It is already in sort. Now it is done in ascending order. The same list we want to print in reverse order, descending order. So we can pass here reverse is equal to the same it is printed in descending order. It is not only with numeric. If we have list in, like this is our list one, and we have a list values in alphabetic form. We now we want to perform the operation on list two. We want to sort it in descending order. So it is the G letter into first and the A into last. So it is done in the descending order. So we can perform on the numeric also and the alphabetic values also. Okay. So sorting is done. Now the reverse is also done. We want to copy the value of the list into a new list. So we can use the copy function. Just like we have the list one values there. Now we want to copy it into a list two. In list three we want to copy it like this. One dot copy. Let's make list three. So whatever is there in our list one, that is copied into the list three. We can use the copy function. We do this. It will create a replica exact same values, same numbers. This is copying. Now we have two lists and we want to add it. So this is one way is you can just use the simple plus operator. So it will combine two lists into a new list. Okay. The other method we have here, we can use the append function. So what append will do, it will first like it will passing list one here and then we are appending. So it will append at the last. or we can use the extend method is also there. So what extend will do, whatever the values is there in list 2, that is extended in the list 1, and it will start from the end. So like if you want to see how it is, how the extend function is working, we have now list 1, list 2 is there. It can be, let's try append function first. This 3 is already there. We want to add this 1 and 2. Two simple plus operation, how it will work. This print list 4 now. So this is our list 1 and this is our list 2. So by default what it will do, first it will print the list 1 and the second list will be appended at the last. Exactly, it will not change any indexes or how the values are traversed from the list 1. Okay. This is how the extend is working. Okay, so these are the list of methods or the operations we can perform on a list. We can use the append operation, append method. So what it will do, it will add the element at the end of a list. We have the clear method. So what it will do, it will remove all the elements from the list. We have the copy method. What it will do, it will remove it. It will return the, the exact same values will be copied in a different list. It is just like you are assigning the same values to a different variable. Then we have the count methods available. What it will do, it will return how many numbers of elements are available in the list, just like we have the length function available. Then we have the extend function available. What it will do, it will add the element of a list at the end of the current list. Then we have the index. What index will you do? It will return the index of first element with the specified values. Then we have the insert. We know that we want to insert a element at the specific index at 2 values, 3 values, or index 4 values. So we can use the index insert function. Then we have the pop function. Pop function can be used either without indexing or with indexing. Without indexing, if you use it, it will remove all the elements from the list. If we are specifying a index position, then it will remove only the specific index value. Then we have the remove also. This will remove the items from a list. Then we have reverse if you want to reverse the order of a list. Then we have the sort if you want to do the sorting, like if it is in ascending order, descending order, then we can use the sort method. So these are the operations we can perform with help of these methods in list.